Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about marriage. You know, when Tina and I, through the years, are counseling a couple, we want them to understand two things out of the gate. Number one, marriage can be better than you expect. And number two, marriage can be harder, more difficult than you expect. Now, at first, it might sound like these two ideas are in opposition to each other, but they actually work together. God said it's not good for man to be alone. The truth is, we need relationships. And relationships, whether that's marriage or friendships, relationships really expose our immaturity. I think couples are often surprised when they get married by their own independence, their selfishness, how easily offended they are. Marriage really exposes all this. Occasionally, someone will say, boy, my marriage or my spouse has problems. And the truth is, it's not marriage that's a problem, but what marriage does do is it exposes the problem. The problem is in our heart, and marriage and relationships create an opportunity for those problems to get exposed, to be brought to the surface, so that we can give them to Jesus, so that Jesus can really produce and do something new and fresh in our heart and give us a capacity to love our spouse, to serve our spouse, give us a capacity to kind of measure if there's any fruit in my life. Is there love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control? On Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock, it looks like everybody has that stuff. It's in the middle of a crazy week and the kids are going crazy and work was stressful and now your spouse seems to be demanding. It's in that moment we discover whether or not we're acting like we love or if there's a supernatural love in our heart. Are we acting happy or is there a supernatural joy? Are we pretending to be at peace or is there a supernatural peace? See, marriage really exposes our need for Jesus. It exposes our inability to love and to relate to people independently of Christ the way that Christ loved and related to other people. It really drives us into Jesus. I remember for Tina and I, when we were in the middle of our marriage crisis 23 years ago, for me, man, I just fell on my knees and in desperation began crying out to God and said, God, I can't do this without you. I was in a moment where I just recognized my humanity, my imperfection, my immaturity, but it created an opportunity for me to invite Christ in a much deeper way, to invite Christ into that place, to really bring healing and growth and transformation in my life. And as I changed, my relationship grew. See, a great marriage, romance, love, those aren't things that are discovered. Those are things that grow and are produced as God does this work in me and my spouse and I learn to love each other well. So it all drives us back to Jesus, which means this, the number one thing, and this is why this process we're in is so important. The number one thing you can do to build a strong marriage really is to deepen, strengthen your relationship with God, because as God produces His life in us, the fruit of the Spirit grows in us. It strengthens all of our relationships and certainly strengthens our marriage. Jesus really healed and strengthened and has grown my relationship to Tina to where now, 23 years later, man, it's better than I ever expected. But it was hard work. At times it was painful. It's taken a good bit of time. But God has been faithful. And if you'll continue to pursue God, don't try to fix your spouse. Focus all your attention on what God is doing in you to fix and to grow and to mature you. And as both of you do that, boy, marriage becomes this incredible adventure where you get to grow together, learn to love each other more. Marriage becomes this really, really beautiful thing. In fact, it becomes better than you expect. The key is Jesus has got to be the foundation. We're living in humble dependence upon Him. Hope that helps. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow.